Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about the absolutely vital role that confidentiality plays in selling your business. And if there's one mistake that most first-time business sellers make, is that they underestimate the importance of keeping the sale of their business a secret. Now, maybe it's because the entire time that you've owned the business, you've always about promoting it and letting everybody know what you have. But that type of approach to selling your business can hurt you in a lot of ways. And the truth is that most of the people you know from your business, employees, customers, suppliers, they can't do much to help you sell the business unless you're in that rare circumstance where you have an employee or a customer who is also a very qualified and interested buyer. And if that's the case, great. But that is just the only extra person who needs to know that you're trying to sell your business. Unless there is some unusual or extraordinary circumstance surrounding the sale of your business, you should try to keep the sale of your business as secret as possible, for as long as possible, from as many people as possible. If it becomes commonly known that your business is for sale, it's just a matter of time before the rumor mill gets going, and that's always a bad thing. Especially if your competitors find out that you're selling, because they will spread the news faster than you can imagine, especially to your customers. And depending on the type of business you have, it may become very easy for them to start taking your customers away from you. And before you know it, your business isn't worth as much as it used to be. And this is especially true if you sell to other businesses. You're in a business-to-business marketing situation. If you sell to consumers, it's not as big an issue for your customers. If you have a retail establishment or a restaurant, very few people are going to stop eating at your restaurant because they found out that you're selling. But again, there's usually no advantage to those customers knowing that you're selling. And if they know, everybody knows. But whatever type of business you have, it's always best if the employees don't find out that you're selling. Because your employees, quite understandably, will begin to worry about job security, and inevitably their energies will be focused more on finding a new job than on their current one. And I realize that that might sound like hype or overstating things, but in reality, it isn't. I mean, put yourself in the shoes of your employees. How would you feel if you found out that the place that you had worked at for the past few years, or the past 10 or 20 years, was about to be sold, and probably sold to someone that you as an employee didn't even know? It creates a lot of uncertainty in the mind of the employee, and nothing good can come from that. So the bottom line for all of this is, one of the keys to selling your business successfully is to continue to operate the business as effectively as if you were going to own it forever, so that the value of the business is maintained while you're in the process of selling it, no matter how long that takes. And you can't do that with all this uncertainty among your customers, your suppliers, your employees. And the thing is that keeping the sale confidential, taking this approach, will never cost you money. Now, you may not get in a boatload of trouble by making the sale known, but that never helps you. And so by keeping it confidential, keeping it secret from as many people as possible, it will never hurt you. And it may very well keep you out of trouble. And then, in addition to the problems that you encounter with employees and customers and suppliers, the lack of confidentiality can really dramatically damage the buyer's perception of your business. Because the buyer here, well, a lot of them, they're first-time buyers. They don't understand the process. They think that buying a business is like buying a house or a used car. You know, the owner runs some ads, interested buyers respond, they then negotiate for a little while, and in a few days or weeks or maybe a month, the deal is done. And as you probably know by now, nothing could be further from the truth. Many good businesses take time to sell, to find the right buyer. But the problem is with the buyer's perception. If he knows that you've been trying to sell your business for 6 months or a year, because it's become common knowledge all over town, well, he may start to think that there's something wrong with your business. And once the buyer has this perception in his head, And it may be spoken, it may be unspoken, but it becomes almost impossible to sell for the very best price. And as we've discussed in other videos, buyers tend to always go straight to the worst case scenario whenever they find out anything that they perceive as negative. And again, they don't understand that even the healthiest of businesses don't sell the day they're put on the market. So if they find out that a business has been on the market for 3 months or 6 months, they start to think the worst. They ask themselves, why doesn't anybody want to buy this business? What am I not seeing that other people have seen? And the next thing you know, they're searching for some other opportunity to invest in. And, while you're negotiating the details of the sale, the price, the terms, the financing, you want to have as much control as possible of the situation. And if you are in a hurry to sell because your employees are getting nervous or a competitor is spreading rumors, that will always cost you money. And again, my point here is not to scare you or to blow things out of proportion. It's just that in most cases, letting people know that your business is for sale, letting people know that your business is for sale, will not help you. And in a lot of cases, it will definitely hurt you. So do yourself a favor and resolve right now to only share your intentions to sell with people who can actually help you to sell the business. That would include your lawyer, your accountant, not too many other people. And as much as you care for your employees and you respect your suppliers and your customers, the truth is that there's very little that they can do to help you sell. But they could inadvertently put you in a position where it's much harder to sell. And again, this isn't a used car that we're talking about here, that we're trying to sell. So unless that employee of yours or that customer of yours is exceptionally qualified and has the money to buy, there really isn't anything that they can do to help you, so you don't need to share your desire to sell with any of these people who can't help you. And now in the next video, we're going to go through some very specific things you can do, steps you can take to protect your confidentiality, and I will talk to you in that video.